Hello everyone. Kind of starting things early here because once the actual playtest starts, I'm not sure how quick I'll need to be, if the servers are going to be full or what. So yeah, just trying to do this as best I can. Um, Give me a quick moment to set things up here. And I apologize again if there are sound issues. I think it has something to do with the video capture card I'm using and the PC. I don't know what I'm doing wrong here, so if it's making like noise, I apologize. I don't know how to fix it. Um, for the record, the video capture card I'm using is the Elgato HD60S USB video capture card. Yeah. So give me a moment here. I want to make sure that this gets posted on the subreddit. So just bear with me. That's what part of the reason I started a bit early this time, is I didn't want to keep people waiting. Thank you for your patience here. Okay, I think that should do it as far as posting this. Yeah, looks like it should be all right. Okay, so before we get started, let's talk about a bit about this. This is a online playtest for Nintendo Switch Sports, which is set to come out in April, I believe. I don't remember the exact date, but I think it's like the second half of April. So it's still a few months away. And a part of the reason they're doing this test, I'm sure, is a stress test for their online servers, which is kind of interesting. Nintendo doesn't really tend to do that kind of stuff. And given how many of the games in the most recent Nintendo Direct were focusing on online, I get the feeling that they really are trying to shift their focus to that part of the game space or whatever, which is good. It's about time. I mean, welcome to the 20th century, Nintendo. Um, and let's see. Actually, before I get started proper, I am going to quickly grab something. So I'm going to go AFK real quick. Bear with me. I'll be back in a minute. Yeah, it just figures I start streaming and then realize, oh, I need to wet my whistle. Anyway, as I usually say, if you have any questions, any comments, please comment in the chat. I'll be trying to keep an eye on it as I play. I'm going to try and ignore any comments that are just gibberish or something that seems like bot spam or something. I seem to be getting a fair amount of that, and I feel like it just interrupts the streams as I'm streaming for anyone who's like watching it after the fact, wondering what the heck I'm commenting on. So if you make a comment, I'll try to respond to anything that people say, but please make it in legible English. I only speak English, so sorry, no foreign languages. Not that I have anything against people speaking other languages, but I can't understand it, so I can't comment on it. Anyway, looks like we got 5 minutes left before this thing goes live, and I'm not going to try to get into it before then. Or actually, maybe I should. Let's see what happens when I try to get into it beforehand. It'll probably just say, sorry, no can do yet. Move your body to play. Drunk Cod says, got it, English. You know what? That's good enough as long as I can understand it. I just, like, people are putting in random letters and stuff, and I feel like it's bot spam or something. I can't what? Can't get in? Probably, but I'm curious to see what happens. I'm not going to bother playing with the straps. I've never had a problem with chucking my controller at the TV. Although I know it's a CYA measure from Nintendo. They don't want to get sued because someone chucked a controller, I'm sure. Man, that brings me back. Kind of nice little dynamic intro here. Okay. And as I understand it, this test is only going to allow me to play 3 games here. And I believe that is tennis, bowling, and I've forgotten the name of it, but the sword fighting one, the one where the sword stick one. So, 1 or 2 players. Well, I only have myself here, so I'm going to try playing it online with single player. Drunk Cod says, thinking of getting a Wii because I can't play Wii games on Switch. Yeah, that is frustrating, especially with some of the better Wii games, like, like you can't play Twilight Princess on Switch yet. You can't play... Chambara, yeah. You can't play Super Mario Galaxy 2 is another major one. Punch-Out Wii. There are some really good Wii games that Nintendo just either hasn't had time or resources to bring over or has been disinclined to do. So let's see what happens when I press Begin Career. Appearance and nickname. Yeah, just leave that. It's not going to let me change it because this is a test, I'm guessing. Oh, I get random choices here. These look vaguely like the Miis, but I remember seeing in the preview video they had actual Miis you could use too. So I have to imagine that will be in the final game. You know what? I look like none of these characters, so I'll go with blue hair. Blue hair gets my vote. Let's see what we get here. Connecting to the internet. Is it going to boot me now? Pluto. The 3 games we're supposed to be able to play in this demo are tennis, bowling, and Chambara, I believe was the name of the other one. It is not active now. Okay. Well, gotta wait a few more minutes at least, apparently. So I'll let it go on for a few more minutes and then I'll try again. So before we get started here, just some thoughts on the original Wii Sports. I appreciate its role in video game history. I appreciate what it did in bringing more casual players into the play space. There are other mini-games in the full release game, but for this particular game, Nintendo Switch Sports, there are... but they're not in this demo. They're only testing 3 of the games in this playtest. The full release game will have other things like volleyball and... Ooh, there's some others I can't remember now off the top. Oh, badminton was one of them, I remember. And soccer was one of them also. But those are not going to be in this playtest. It is only going to be tennis, bowling, and Chambara, as I understand. Chambara being the kind of sword fighting sort of game. Anyway, on the original Wii Sports, I thought it was good for what it was trying to do, but it frustrated me that there weren't more options for players who had a bit more skill to put into the game. Like in tennis, you couldn't independently move your character. And that was frustrating for me because I would have liked to have had that option. But I understand for a newer player who maybe doesn't understand the whole control stick thing and just wants to swing around the Wii remote, that might have been daunting. So I get why they did it. It just, I wasn't a big fan of it. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I'm sorry, I'm just mentioning things as they come to me. Nintendo did also say that the full game is going to include golf as well. And I'm being told that it started, so I'll give it another try. Yep, all set. So let's see if it lets me in. And I think I'll start with tennis if it gives me the choice, because I'm most familiar with that. I'm well aware. Captain Falcon Main 65 says, apparently you're not supposed to stream. Server communication error. I guess they're already getting overloaded. It says Nintendo doesn't want you to stream, and I understand they don't want me to stream, and I kind of don't care. This is commentary. If they want to try and strike my channel and not let me get ads, that's fine. I don't have ads on my channel. I'm not looking to make money off of this. I'm looking to show people this game and give my thoughts and comments on the game. And I appreciate Nintendo wants to try and control play online and compete with players from around the world. Other players will be able to see or yada yada yada. So don't swear online. Don't let people see private info. Just, again, standard legalese. Oh, all sorts of communication errors. Again, I assume that this playtest is getting overloaded with people who are trying it. So do not take this as a judgment on the final game. In fact, nothing in this playtest should be seen as an indication what the final game will for certain be like, because they have between now and the game's final release to actually change things up, deal with problems and stuff. Spacco Square. I like the kind of pre-rendered intro here. It looks nice. Various sports. Get out there and play.
Have fun.
Have fun.
Spacco Square.
Okay. Oh, it's not letting me select. It's just going to randomly assign me to something. All right. That's fine. I'm up for whatever. Oh, all the communication errors. I have to imagine their servers must be getting hammered here. I mean, it's just everyone all at once trying to play this at the same time, which is kind of good because they're getting an indication what they need to do before the game launches. It's letting me get a little farther every time, though, so that's hopefully a good sign. All right, I'm going Chambara against Mia, and I have no idea how to play Chambara. Okay, I'm going to be right-handed here because I'm a righty. Ooh, I get a choice of swords. You know what? Let's just start with the basic sword. All right, press the button. Oh, I see. X plus ZR. And it booted me again. Or did it? I bet it did. All right. Hopefully we will get into a game. But this is kind of why I put a disclaimer, because I'd anticipated this being something that could very likely happen. That's just the thing with these playtests. You never know. And especially with Nintendo, who does not have the best track record with online play. Heaven only knows if they're going to have everything up and running right off the bat. But better that they do that in their playtest than they do it on the day of launch. Mimi says, I hope Nintendo doesn't copy strike the YouTubers playing this. You know, they might, but it would be my first copy strike anyway, and I'm a small-time channel as it is, so if they want to, they can, but I'm not terribly concerned about it. So, still trying to actually get into a game. Again, I do not judge Nintendo at all for the online problems I'm having here, because this game isn't out yet. It's not released. Doing Chambara again. Okay. Not supposed to share anything about it, Luigi Plush Network says. This I'm well aware of, and I do not care. If they have a problem with it, they can just have a problem with it. It's not like I'm doing anything illegal here. It's not like I'm pirating the game. Simp for Bot says he's trying to get into the game too, or they say I shouldn't assume gender. Yeah.
Chambara.
Oh. Okay.
Here we go.
Well, this is farther than I've gotten so far. Don't stand too close to the television. Just keep at it, Luigi Plush Network. You might get in. Oh my. Okay. Okay. Keep the buttons facing you as you hold the... Okay. Up, down, left, right. Actually, really good motion control. I was really worried that the motion control for this would be bad, but it's pretty good so far. Striking. Okay. Guard by holding... Okay. Cool, cool. Block attacks by guarding. Okay.
Good.
Right on. Vertical strike. Okay, so far this is controlling really well. I was really worried about the control for this game, but so far it's doing a good job of it.
Good.
Just keep trying, Flow Dark Bright. It kept disconnecting me too. Okay. What am I doing wrong here? Have I already forgotten how to strike? Because... Oh, I need to press the thing. Okay. Oop. Oh, I see. So if he's holding it vertical, strike vertical. If he's holding it horizontal, strike horizontal. Okay. Omega Zach Power thinks that you can only play Chambara at the moment. That would be my opinion of it as well. It seems like it's only letting me getting past the guard. Guarding attack so as not to cross swords. Okay, so like that? Yeah. Okay. I am really happy the controls are not just a mess here, because I worried, since this is not a Wii remote, this is a Joy-Con, the motion controls are not the same between the two. Okay, so... Okay, I wonder if Alex is a real person or not.
Round one.
Okay, center of the screen.
Ready.
Oop, you got me there. Okay, this is simple, but it's fun. I like it. This works. All right. I get the feeling this person I'm playing against just does not get how this game is working. Okay.
Ready.
Oop. Man, get on your game, guy. Okay, nice looking water there. I appreciate that. Actually, the environment in general looks pretty nice here. There's some good detail. The lighting is nice. I'm pretty happy with how this is so far. Tips for guarding. I didn't really need to guard that game. I just kind of brute forced my way through. No, I do not need the attachment. Okay, let's see if it's going to force me into Chambara again, or if I get to try a different one. Pluto got kicked, apparently. I'm sorry I had to deal with that, Pluto. Like I said, it's probably... Their servers are getting wrecked right now. So just keep trying, keep going at it. Nico Flower asks, good party game. It's hard for me to judge just now. Whoa, there's a lot of people in now. Okay. It's hard for me to judge now, but I anticipate that, yeah, this probably will be a good party game. It's simple to pick up and play. I imagine it will have good multiplayer support. Oh, we're doing bowling now. All right. And Dees won Chambara. Congrats, Dees. All right, let's see how bowling is. There was another bowling game on Switch that was pretty decent that kind of imitated Wii Sports bowling. Oh, what was the name of it? I'm drawing a blank. Yeah, Captain Falcon Main 65. I wouldn't anticipate people listening to that kind of command either. It's kind of ridiculous.
Survival bowling.
Survival bowling? What? What am I doing? Just... Okay. Is it going to give me the instructions here? Because this is different than I remember Wii Sports bowling. Okay. Oh. Oh, maybe I need to... Okay. Okay. I'm just not getting it, I think. What the... Okay. Oh, I just don't let it go. At all. Here I thought I just didn't let it go until after I was ready to release it, but you're not supposed to let it go at all. Yeah, that seemed like decent motion detection. I think the pinball, not pinball, the bowling game I was thinking of is called like Knock 'em Down Bowling or something. Ooh, yeah, that was not good. Maybe I should be standing for this. Thankfully, my headphones have a nice good cord, so... Okay, I tried to make it go off a bit more to the left that time, and it seemed like it worked better. I'm pleased with the motion controls in this so far. I was really super worried about how they would work on the Nintendo Switch, but this is good. This works pretty well. I mean, I doubt it's ever going to work quite as well as the Wii Remote, but I'm not detecting, like, it's not terribly worse, which was really what I was worried. Yeah, it looks like Flow Dark Bright is in agreement with me on that one. It seems like it's working all right. Oof. Ah. I think I have this issue with I'm twisting to the left at the end of my toss. Oh, didn't get a... Oh, well. Good sound there, too. Nice little echo of the pins falling. I had to say, I was a little skeptical going into this that it would really be able to recreate the kind of feeling of the original game, but after just playing a few rounds of a couple different games here, I'm already kind of pumped for the full release. This is great. I mean, aside from the online connectivity problems, which, again, I do not blame Nintendo for. Oh, and apparently I lost. Time to go sit down. I don't want to spectate.
Finish.
I want to actually play. See if maybe I can get into a game of tennis. Tennis was the one I was really looking forward to. Okay. Okay, it's taking its time here. Proper bowling form. Reminds me of the WarioWare game on the Wii, where it's like form of elephant. Hold it to your nose like a graceful person picking their nose. You know, something like that. That game just had such a weird, chill vibe. Hey, playing tennis! That's cool. I was hoping to play all 3 games. And I'm definitely a righty. Alright. I gotta stand for the gameplay here. Interesting that we're doing it with 3 players. Because you can't really play doubles with 3. And you can't play singles with 3. You either usually have 2 players or 4 players with tennis. So I wonder why... Oh, maybe it's a computer controlled player for the 4th. Alright. Let's see. The blue-haired team and... Okay.
Play.
Ooh, a bit of a lag there on... Oh, I could... Oh, it was out. I was like, I couldn't hit that one. Oh, wait, I wasn't supposed to because it was out. Okay. Oh, they're serving. feels like there's a little bit of lag in between when you're moving the controller, and maybe that's just me, or maybe it's because of the online thing. Oh, okay, that was just my fault. Man, I remember being better at this. Ah!
1-3.
Man, I am not playing very well. Hey, TieGuy13. The small YouTuber asks if I've done any of the sword play yet. Yes, I have played some Chambara earlier in this one. It plays really well. Actually, I'm quite pleased with all the games here so far. I mean, we've only had 2 that we can test. Oof.
1-4.
Man, I am not doing well. It's not letting me skip past this. So far, everything is with one controller. I'm not sure if I'm getting good precision on this, though. About time. Wow, getting a lot of comments here. It says, someone asks if local play is available. I assume local play is available, but this is specifically an online play test. So I think they're testing the online play, and I don't have another person to play with right now at the moment anyway, so I can't tell you that. But I'm pretty sure it will have local play. Twisted Whiskers says, you're not supposed to do this. You know what? I guess I'll just have to get in trouble with Nintendo. Daddy Nintendo's gonna have to come after me. I do not care. Ooh, that was bad.
3-5.
Nico Flower says, wow, really reminds me of Wii Sports. Yeah, it's the sequel to Wii Sports. That's kind of the point. Oh, what the... See, I tried to backhand that one. It did not register as a backhand. Maybe I'm just not doing it right, but... Yeah, bowling was pretty good. Thomas Cervantes says they missed the Mii's. I think the Mii's... Oh! Oh my goodness, I actually did it! I actually threw my controller! I've never in my entire life thrown my controller. It's okay, I didn't break anything. It hit the ceiling and popped right back down. Wow! But yeah, it does look like Mii's are going to be in the full game. It's just not in this demo because they are mainly just testing the online connectivity, which very well they should, because in the first few minutes it really got hammered here. Oh man, I just threw that tennis match. That was terrible. Hopefully I'll get another one before the test is up, because I did horribly. Let's try 2 swords. Ah, cool.
Let's go.
Jonathan C. Almazan says it's not working. Just keep trying. I had a bunch of errors when I first started too. I just kept trying to get back into it, and then eventually it let me. Interesting that I can't cross them. I can only... Oh, I can only block with one at a time too. Oh, okay.
Ready? Go.
Oh, and there I lost it. Yeah, Twisted Whiskers, I know that the mic is bad. It has something to do with the video capture card. I can't... I don't know why it is messing up like that, but it's... I can't help it. I'm sorry. Man, it is hard to remember the strategy of this when you get into it. Like, because it's fast-paced, but you have to remember to, like, block counter to the way they're holding it, but strike the same as how they're holding it. Oof. Ty Guy says, you're a real one for recording this. Apparently a lot of people think I'm a real fugitive because Nintendo's going to come after me. Like I said, I'm not terribly worried. Oof. Yeah, I can see how that's super frantic. And Deaster asks if I think it lives up to Wii Sports. Obviously... Interesting. Obviously, this is not the full game. I'm only trying half the games that are in it, and that's not even counting Golf, which is DLC that'll come after its release. But from what I've tried so far, yeah, this definitely seems like it lives up to Wii Sports. In fact, I'm delightfully surprised at how well the controls work using the Joy-Cons. I would not have expected good Joy-Con controls here, and I'm guessing it's going to kick me into bowling at this point. Ty Guy says, I really want to see Golf. Me too. The small YouTuber won both the sword matches. Good for you. I won my first and lost my second. But that's not really... it doesn't reflect on me because the first person I fought didn't even defend themselves. They just let me take them. So I do not claim any skill for that victory. The small YouTuber says, I wish baseball was here. Yeah, but I mean, it looks like it's not going to be in the full game. I don't know what to tell you about that. Maybe they'll add it in a future DLC. It's kind of hard to predict with Nintendo what they will add at a later point via DLC. Like, who expected 5 years after Mario Kart 8 was released on the Switch that they'd start releasing more DLC for it? That's crazy, but I'm glad that they are. I don't know what it's called, but it's the funny-looking one. I'm not sure what you're referring to there, small YouTuber. Power Sword? Oh, the when you're choosing your sword on the Chambara. Yeah. On a scale from 1 to 10, how do you rate it so far? Ooh, I would really hesitate to rate it because I'm not playing the full game. This is only half of the games, and it's not all of the options. I can't test out the single player. I can't test out the local multiplayer. But so far, this is actually exceeding my expectations. I was really worried about how the motion controls would work. Boxing with Matt. Yeah, I remember that. Was Matt his name? I remember there was one guy who was just tough. Oh, man. I feel like the controls for bowling are a bit different because in Wii Sports... the bowling controls had you actually releasing the button at some point, I think, if memory serves. And here they don't. You're supposed to hold on to it the entire time. Okay, so... Oh. Okay, I think I can pick that up. Like, it's not something you'd necessarily notice, but the graphics in this are pretty good, too. Like, see all the people walking in the background, the subtle reflections on the pins and in the lanes. I mean, granted, it's nothing revolutionary, but it's certainly more than you'd expect in a title like a Wii Sports sequel. This is not a minor effort. They put a lot of effort into reproducing the motion controls right, into making the graphics look good. I mean, even the fact that this is like a multiplayer, like huge multiplayer bowling game is not at all what I would have expected. I'm pleased. That was not... Yeah, that wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great. Okay. Let's see if I can bowl it straight. Hey! Alright! Do the roll the ball backwards thing. I can try it. I think it'll just automatically stop it once it hits the floor, but alright. And just so you guys know, I'm bouncing back and forth between looking at the comments and then standing up to play because I feel like this is a game you really need to stand up to play. So bear with me if it takes a moment to get back to you or if I miss one of your comments. Okay, so here's me rolling the ball backwards. Yeah. And you can just drop it in place. Yeah! Yeah, I like all the small touches too, small YouTuber. Mr. L-Tastic says, I hate these avatars. I actually don't mind them myself, but from what I saw in the preview, it does look like you should be able to use your actual Miis in the full release game. At least that's what it looked like to me, because when the Nintendo employees went on to play, it looked like they were playing as their Mii avatars. Not this, you know, kind of cartoony looking character here. It's forcing all of us to use these right now because it's the online playtest, but I'm pretty sure in the full release game it'll have the Miis. Top 5 out of 8 will advance. All right. Let's try... Oops. Dope. Ooh, okay. That wasn't terrible. Wasn't great, wasn't terrible. All right. Oh, wait, no. All right, pick that up. Ty Guy, I really don't care if I win or I lose, just as long as I'm having fun, and I'm having fun. This is pretty good so far. I hope there are a bunch of options in the full release game because, I mean, there aren't many yet, but then again, this is not the place to judge that because I'm not playing the full release. Okay, not bad. It looks like, yeah, I missed 2. All right, let's try this. Well, I got one of them. I'm not the best bowler, so I would not be terribly surprised if I lose. I'm actually in second place right now, which surprises me. I'm losing to someone with what looks like a Japanese name. The gray-haired girl, I think, to my right. Yeah. All right. Nice! Haha! I hope in the full release game it lets you choose the color of your bowling ball. It's a small thing, but the little things are nice, right? The small YouTuber says, I like the idea of this test. They should do more. I agree. The Derp says, so far the motion controls good. Yeah, so far I am really pleased with the motion controls. I was really worried about that because the Joy-Con is not a Wii remote. But so far it's holding up really well, yeah. Let's see. Oh. Yeah. Didn't make it all the way, even though I got a strike in that last round, but I guess that wasn't enough. I do not want to spectate.
Finish.
So it looks like most of these games you're just using a single Joy-Con. You don't need to use 2 Joy-Cons. For Chambara, if you're doing dual swords, you use 2, but otherwise you're just using 1. You're not using the control stick for anything, at least not in the games that they have in this demo. I mean, well, okay, you're using the control stick to select items in the menu, but that's it. Otherwise, it's all motion controls, ZR and X. You know, ZR and X like you're pinching the controller, except for mostly you're not even using X. Okay, I'm going to try going back to the sword because I feel like I sucked when I did twin swords. I feel like I need to have the simplicity of just one sword.
Let's go.
Yeah, I agree. Sorrel Life Story. I think it does look pretty sharp. Like the water looks really nice here. The shadows look nice. The reflections, like all of it is much better than I would have expected from a Wii Sports.
Round one.
All right.
Ready? Fight.
Oh. Oh. Playing mind games here. Oh. 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 He got me. I probably will not stream for tomorrow. I don't... oh, they don't have volleyball in this test tie, guys. Sorry. It's just tennis, bowling, and chambara.
Ready? Fight.
Oh, I think I found the secret here. It's you hold a defense counter to them, and then you quickly shift the controller the way that they're holding it, and you strike them that way before they can react to it.
Round three.
I don't know. I don't count on baseball being added because they haven't announced it. It's possible, but I would not count on it.
Fight.
Oh. Yeah. I think I'm getting this one.
Finish.
But yeah, something like a baseball would be nice, sure, but I'm not holding out hope for it. I feel like what they have coming up looks like a good mix of games. I'm really glad they're bringing golf back, even if it's coming after launch. Do I think we'll have all the courses from Wii Sports Club and golf? I don't know. I wouldn't put it past Nintendo to go slim on content here. It'd be nice if it had all the courses, but I don't know. Mr. Eltastic says Nintendo is scared of the internet. It certainly seems like it sometimes, but I have to give them credit. It seems like they're making a solid effort with this one, especially doing the online test before the release. Really gives me hope that they're actually taking it seriously this time. Okay, so let's see if I will crash and burn this time like I did last. Looks like they're only doing doubles tennis now. They really want to test out the online support for this, so they're loading as many people into it as they can. Oh, although we're just getting a mirrored partner, apparently. I wonder if we control our mirrored partner. I haven't been trying to, and he hasn't been doing much. Oh, wow. That was way off. All right. Oh, ooh. I really should have just let that come to me. Okay, so I am controlling both of them. That's something I did not realize when it's mirrored like this. Oh! See, that time I was trying to hit it with the guy in back, but I guess I did it too early. All right. All right. I hate we can only queue random, but it's cool, small YouTuber says. Yeah, they might change that in the final game, or they might decide to just go with it for the simplicity. I get the feeling that's what it's going to be in the final game because, I mean, when you're looking at Wii Sports, they really want to make it as simple and easy to get into as possible so it can appeal to anyone. So I feel like just making it as easy as possible to get into an online game is really what they're going to want to focus on. Okay, I think I'm getting the hang of this now. Okay, I like that in the doubles tennis you can control them both if it's not a second player in there. Out! Ah! Probably just did it too late. Okay. Oh! Yeah, that was bad. I should not have tried to swing at that one with my first guy. Oh! Oh! So what is this, to best of 5? When do we decide it's over? They're obviously not using traditional tennis scoring.
5 all.
Sorry, I can't look at the chat right now because I'm standing and playing the game. I'll go and look at it once this game is over and see what I can answer for you here. All right. Like, one of the things, me being a stickler for this sort of thing, I hope that in the final game, there's an option to play with traditional tennis scoring. Ha! Ha ha! I mean, nice game. Good job. Ty Guy says sales are going to be through the roof. Yeah. It's kind of surprising that they didn't do this sooner because this was going to be a surefire multi-million seller. When does online play end? Omega Zach Power asks. In about 8 minutes, actually. They really only wanted it up for 45 minutes. I guess they felt like, yeah, this is going to be super popular. We don't want to give away too much here. Allie says, yes, my grandma's even excited. That's the whole point. They want to get everyone into this. Small YouTuber says, I'm getting a little lag, but not much. Yeah, it's not bad. Thomas Cervantes says, time to lose weight thanks to my Switch. You know, Nintendo does keep trying to push this. Like with Ring Fit Adventure, and you know, more credit to them. There are not many in the market that are really going for that, and they're hitting a niche that no one else is really focusing on, and they're doing it well enough that they are getting tons of sales for it, and more credit to them. Another round of bowling. Super Gaming Bro and a Roman numeral says, God, I missed this. You know, I did not think super highly of the original Wii Sports, but I've grown to appreciate what it did at the time. Now that I'm getting back into this sequel, though, I'm kind of feeling it. It's fun. I mean, it's stupid simple, but it doesn't need to be complicated to be fun. And yeah, it's hitting all the right notes, I feel. I just hope the full release game has plenty enough options to make it so it's not just a shallow experience. And I'm not saying it is because I don't have the final game, but that's going to be one of the things I'm looking out for, because at this point, I'm not at all worried about the graphics. I'm not worried about the controls. Both of those seem fantastic so far. I mean, okay, for what it's supposed to be. Obviously, I say graphics look great, but graphics look great for a Wii Sports sequel, you know? All right. Let's see if I can actually get into the final, like the top 5 or so this time. Okay, there were a couple of people that got strikes that time, and a lot of people that got spares. And yet we're all tied for first. It doesn't score a strike higher than a spare, I guess? That's weird. All right. I will admit I'm not really listening to the music now because I'm focusing on the gameplay, so I can't say if the music is great. It just seems kind of, like, you know, trying to be energetic and stuff, which, oh, that's going to hurt me later. Ooh, yeah, I'm already in 7th. That's not a good feeling. But I'm not eliminated. I'm toward the bottom of the bracket at the moment, but I'm not eliminated yet. That was a good shot. All lanes done. All right. Okay. Let's try this. Oop. Okay. Got the spare. Hopefully that'll be enough to keep me in the game. It still says I'm 7th place, which... that ain't great. Oh, it's keeping our score, too. That's what's... oof. Okay, check. I'm going to need to really do better in this next one, or it's going to boot me out. Oh, no, I think it's going to boot me out already. Yeah. Oh, no, I made it. Hey! All right, just barely made it, but I made it. Ty Guy says you can't throw backwards. No, not really. Well, you can throw it, but it just stops immediately. It doesn't roll. Which, I mean, maybe Nintendo's trying to discourage people from doing things that would be unsafe in real life. Oh, not bad. I mean, it's still a spare, which means the people with the strike are going to murderalize me. Assuming I even get the spare here. Yeah, I'm going to get it. Oof, but I am currently looking at getting cut here. I'm going to need to make a bunch more points in order to move forward. Well, I got 2 more things to do it. Okay, I don't know how it curved right there because I was literally crossing it left over my shoulder. Maybe my hand twitched at the last minute. I stink at bowling, what can I say? And I think that's going to sink me. Unless someone else does really terrible this round and next round, I'm probably not going to make it. Yeah, bowling is probably just not my game. But I appreciate it. It's fun. I don't need to be super great at a game to enjoy it. Okay, let's see what the chat has to say here. Navi, you technically can play this game on the Switch Lite, but, I mean, it's in the same way that any motion-controlled game can be played on the Switch Lite, in that you have to get the Joy-Cons for it, and it's not really convenient, and so it's like well, technically, but for all intents and purposes, it is not really a Switch Lite game. Yeah, that's going to do it for me, I'm sure. I'm already reeling, and I doubt that... Navi says, I could see VC being either very fun or very toxic. VC... I'm not sure what you mean by VC, sorry. The derp, I don't want to risk breaking the internet connection by testing it in tabletop mode right now, but I assume I don't see any reason why it wouldn't work in tabletop mode. Oh, voice chat. I can't believe I derped on that, yeah. No, Navi, not your bad. That was my bad. I really should have realized. And yeah, I'm sure that's why Nintendo doesn't have voice chat in most things, because, I mean, the moment someone says something inappropriate to some little kid and causes a controversy, Nintendo doesn't want to have to deal with that kind of stuff. So it looks like we are reaching the end of the playtest here. I'm not sure how much longer it's going to let me keep playing. But I'm going to keep trying. And when it kicks me out, it kicks me out. Ty Guy, I wasn't planning on playing this tomorrow because I have other things I have to do. But I imagine you'll be able to find other people who are playing it. You know, it'd be nice if they enabled voice chat for, like, if you're playing with a friend, but I feel like Nintendo just doesn't want to deal with that at all if they can help it. I mean, they did have that weird half measure where you have to use your phone on some games to do voice chat, and it's like Nintendo either doesn't have a clue what the standard is, or they're doing everything they can to buck that standard for some reason. Yeah, Sora Life Story is talking about the point system for bowling. I think all of the point systems for the sports are not based on the actual point scoring for the sports.
Fight.
Oop, that was dumb. Oh, why did I do that? Oof. Okay, I'm doing bad. Josiah, this is an online playtest. It is freely available to all Nintendo Switch Online subscribers, but only for a temporary amount of time. And that time is about to end tonight, but they will have it continue on throughout the weekend.
Fight.
Yeah, Sora Life Story, that's one of the things that I'm really holding out on, making my final judgment on this. Well, obviously, this is not the final game, so I'm not going to make a judgment. But one of the things I'm going to look for in the final release is what kind of settings and options they have, because that's really the only thing that I feel like is a question here. Ooh, that must be that charge sword thing. Nice! It might be that's why it's in a game that hasn't ended, because I'm in a game, yeah. We'll find out in a moment, because we're 2 minutes past the time they said they'd finish it. Yeah, it's probably going to boot me out now. Well, we'll give it a look and see if it lets me go back in. Stinky Toast says, good stream. Thank you. Oh, the online test is not active now. Okay. So, let me get out of this for a moment so that I don't have to have the music to compete with. Yep, they shut it down. They only had it up for 45 minutes, which is really short for an online playtest, but hopefully they got the information they need to make sure that the online play is sufficient, which is, number one, it's really important that they do that because they're really touting that as a feature. But second of all, I'm really encouraged by the fact that they are doing this at all, because that shows that they're actually trying to put some effort into the online here. So far, I'm really pleased with it. Thomas Cervantes did not get to play. I'm so sorry. Ty Guy says, amazing stream. Thank you very much. Yeah, there were errors at the start, but that quickly subsided. At least for me, it did. After maybe a half a dozen times of getting booted out trying to get into a game, it was smooth sailing from there. So hopefully that's an indication of Nintendo kind of getting a feel for what they need to do as far as their online goes. Ty Guy says, thanks for streaming it. No, thank you for showing up. I'm really happy to have a good group of people here watching the stream this time. Thank you for coming. So, obviously I don't have the game to play in front of me right now because the online test is over, but if anyone had any questions for me about like how things felt or my opinion on things, by all means, go ahead and shoot and I'll try to answer as best as I can. Drunk Cod says fun, but so far not the best. Well, I feel like number one, we've only seen half the game. Like we've only played 3 out of the 6/7 games that are going to be in the final version. So it's hard to judge with that. And second of all, we have not seen any of the options or features that this game has. We've only just gotten the basic core gameplay. And the basic core gameplay is good, so I'm encouraged by that. Revolution 5268 asks, has Nintendo done this before? Did they do this before? I don't recall. They might have done something like it with one of the Splatoon games or something, but I don't recall seeing something like that. Navi asks, how was bowling? It was pretty much a 1-to-1 with the Wii version. There were times when I felt like it wasn't quite accurately imitating the way that I was twisting my hand, but that might have just been because I suck at bowling. But overall, it seemed good. I really enjoyed it. Ty Guy says, subbed me. Thank you. I appreciate that. Um, let's see. Omega Zach Power says, I hope boxing gets implemented into the game. I know a lot of people really liked boxing. For me, it just felt too chaotic. It felt like I didn't feel any strategy in that game. It was just waggle your remotes as fast as you can and power through the opponent. But maybe that was just me. Matt M says Nintendo did Splatoon Global Test Fire. So yeah, okay. I thought there was something Splatoon that they did like that. Stinky Toast says, remember there's going to be offline mode too, so more content than just online. Yeah, that I think they've made it clear. I mean, it's pretty clear that the focus of this is very narrow, very narrow, just on the online test. How do I feel about swordplay? Honestly, swordplay in the Chambara was the thing I was looking forward to the least in this test, and I came out of it feeling the best. I was ecstatic with it. I thought it was fantastic. So I really liked it. Let's see. So for people asking if I'm streaming tomorrow, I had not planned on it. Unfortunately, I have other plans tomorrow, and I try to make this a weekly stream on Friday evenings. So probably I will be doing, well, obviously they're not going to have this game streaming, or they're not going to have this game available to test a week from now. So I'll probably be playing something else, but okay. Pluto says baseball has to come. I tell you for certain, if you say something has to be done with Nintendo, they will find a way not to do it, because that's just how Nintendo does it. Twisted Whiskers says, solid another screen. There's a final battle ring and swordplay just like Wii ports. I'm not sure what you're referring to. I'm sorry. Oh, Wii Resort. I actually did not play Wii Sports Resort, so I can't comment on that. I'm sorry. Rift the Nation says, rate the game 1 out of 10. I am disinclined to do that because it's not a full release game. What I played, I enjoyed. I can say that much. And I think it holds a lot of promise. A lot of the things I was worried about the most, I feel less worried about now. I feel like they did a good job with it. And a lot of the things that they're focusing on give me a lot of hope for the final release of this game. But I still reserve my judgment until the game actually comes out, because there's a lot of stuff that I have not seen, I could not see in this demo, because Nintendo isn't showing it yet. Let's see. What time does a test start tomorrow? It looks like someone else has answered that here. Wow, really early in the morning, too. Interesting. Okay, how is the bowling? Tyrese Kelly asks. I like the bowling. I feel like there were moments when it didn't seem like my movements translated quite accurately. There were moments like that in the tennis too, but that might have just been because I moved my hand in a weird way or something. I did not have that problem in Chambara. In Chambara, it felt very accurate. So I don't know, but it seemed pretty good from what I could tell. A lot better than I worried it was going to be, because again, the Nintendo Switch, the Joy-Cons are not a Wii remote. Yeah, I think the Wii remote is generally better than a Joy-Con. Doyle asks me to compare those two. And I think as for motion control anyway, specifically for motion control, the Wii remote has the advantage of having that sensor bar on top of your TV or beneath your TV, wherever you put it. And because of that, it kind of has a rough idea of where the TV is relative to where you are, and it can combine that input with the gyroscopic controls in the in the Wii remote. So I feel like the motion control in the Wii remote is better, and also the ergonomics of the Wii remote, the way that the controller is shaped, are better suited for holding it like a sword or a baseball bat or a tennis racket, better than the Joy-Con is. The Joy-Con is kind of molded to fit the hand, but it's also much smaller, so it's easier to kind of just have it slip, I feel. So I feel like this was kind of a secondary consideration when they were designing the Joy-Cons, was they wanted it to have some motion control so that they could have some sort of compatibility if they wanted to bring Wii games into the Nintendo Switch. But I feel like their focus was mainly on, okay, let's have controllers that will be more or less seamless when they're connected to the Switch and that can act as their own separate controllers and that can also be separated into two so that each one is its own controller. Like that was really their focus with these. So let's see. Twisted Whiskers. Using voice typing. Don't worry about it. Eddie MC says I was pretty good, no lag for any of the games. There was a moment there when I felt like in tennis that my movement wasn't getting an immediate response, but then I realized I was looking at my streaming screen on my computer rather than on my TV. So I switched to look at my TV instead, and I feel like as slight as that delay from the Switch to my streaming device to my computer was enough to create that lag for me. So I got to watch that in games with really instantaneous response kind of stuff like this. So after the initial problem logging in, I don't feel like the lag was too much of an issue. I think it was pretty good here. Doughboy123 says, can't figure out why I can't hook the bowling ball. Yeah, I was having trouble getting it to hook quite the way I wanted it to. Like, I'm right-handed, so I'm starting with my hand down by my right hip, and I was trying to move my hand over my left shoulder, kind of crossing over my body specifically to hook it. And it was working most of the time, but it wasn't as strong a hook as I was expecting. And there was even one time where it hooked right for some reason, and I don't know why it did that. It could have just been that I flicked my wrist at the last moment or something. I don't know. But for the most part, I would say the motion control in the bowling seemed like it was good. There were just moments where I was kind of like, okay, that was kind of iffy. I wonder what happened there. But for the most part, it was good. Yeah, Blossom says lag was surprisingly low. Yeah, I agree. It was pretty good. Mario Strikers, my most hyped game for 2022, Tyrese Kelly says. So, you guys might want to take away my Nintendo card when I say this. I have not played any of the previous Mario Strikers games yet. I know that they're highly recommended. Everyone who's played them seems to love them. It was just something that I missed out on at the time I was playing other games. It wasn't anything that I was like, oh, I don't want to play this, because there are some soccer games that I absolutely love. Like, there was one called, I think it was Sega Soccer Slam, that was amazing. I just missed out on the Strikers games. Let's see, what else do we have here? For people asking when the next tryouts are, I didn't look too closely at that. Unfortunately, my weekend is a bit too full to be playing this game over the weekend. This is going to be my one shot at the game before launch, probably, unless they have another playtest a couple weeks from now or something. Omega Zach Power says, will I get the game when it gets fully released? I will certainly get it eventually. I tend to wait until games go on sale, but if I have Patreon patrons who vote for a particular game to be selected, I'll just buy it at full price on launch day. So that kind of depends on them. If they want me to go for this one, I can certainly go for this one. I would not mind it at all, because I was very pleasantly surprised with this playtest. Let's see. If I could add any sports, what would I add? That's a good question. Because I was really feeling the fact that golf was missing, and then they said golf was going to be coming back, and I'm like, okay, cool. That was one thing I really wanted. Let's see. What was in the original Wii Sports? The original one was tennis, bowling, golf, boxing, which I know a lot of people loved, but I didn't care for it so much. I feel like I'm missing one, and I can't remember what it was. As for other sports that I'd want to see come back in Wii Sports, a lot of people are mentioning baseball, and baseball actually seems like it'd be a pretty good choice. Maybe that was the final Wii Sports game that I'm forgetting. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. But man, if they were going to bring back baseball, I'd want them to at least give some control over positioning your outfielders, or choosing when you're going to try and steal a base or something. I felt like that was something that disappointed me in the original, if I'm remembering it correctly. It's been so long. Basketball seems nice, but if they're trying to keep the simplicity of Wii Sports, I'm not sure how they do that for basketball. But I mean, I guess it's kind of the same for soccer. Like, if a lot of soccer is positioning your player, moving around, and that kind of stuff, and I'm not sure how they're going to do that in this game. While still keeping that simplicity. I don't know, maybe they're just going to have it like the tennis game and just have it automatic, which seems like it'd be missing a lot. I don't know. But if I had to pick one sport to add that is not currently confirmed, baseball's pretty high up there. Basketball's not a bad choice. I feel like American football in this style could be interesting, but I also feel like there's no way they're adding it because Nintendo's a Japanese company and they're going to be looking at international appeal, and football outside American football outside of North America just is not, there's not really much interest in it. Oh, I know what would be a good one to add. If they had a good pool game, pool would be a good one to add. You know, pool or billiards, something like that. Although there are already some good pool games on Nintendo Switch. Like Pure Pool is amazing. If anyone has even the slightest interest in pool, play Pure Pool. It is an incredible simulation of the sport. Okay, so moving through the comments here, you have to start the swing at your chest. Oh, you know, I didn't even consider that, but that might have been it because I started it at my side as opposed to my chest. I don't know. Something I'll have to try next time I play it. Toasty says free fly NGL. I'm not sure what you mean by free fly. Oh, it moved my cursor here. Like you fly a plane. I'm not sure. Oh, there was like a plane sport, wasn't there? I don't know. There might have been in one of the sequels, like Wii Sports Resort, but I did not play that one. Dogfight. There was something like Dogfight in one of those Super Monkey Ball games. It was okay. Let's see. Playing game in Resort. Flow Dark Bright says, I think baseball will be an update. It might be. I wouldn't put it past Nintendo, but don't be disappointed if it doesn't happen. Matt M says ping pong. Ping pong would be a good one, but that's so similar to tennis. And it's already like they have tennis, they have badminton, and they have volleyball. And those three are so similar. I feel like you'd get a lot of complaints if they added ping pong, being like, oh, they're adding another tennis thing. Great. And it's like, I know it's not the same. I know it is not the same. But you know that some people are going to make that complaint, and I get that. Flow Dark Bright says golf is an update because of the big map. That might be why. It might be that they're still trying to get the controls just right. I know that that was one of the issues that I had with the motion controls in Mario Golf on the Switch, was even when they updated the motion controls, it was still just bad. It was just bad. If you're playing Mario Golf on the Nintendo Switch, you want to play with the traditional gamepad controls, which is a shame because you'd think by now that they would have worked that out. So if I had to bet, I would bet that they are still perfecting the controls on the golf game that they're going to add, and that's probably why it's not here. That's just a guess. I don't have an inside track on this, but that's my thinking on it. Crafter HD says the game is amazing, just played it. I'm encouraged by this. I'm, again, not giving a final verdict on this because I have only seen a small portion of it, but so far this looks good. Flo Dark Bright says all the sports already at launch are in one small place. Oh, I assume this is because you're saying the golf is a big map. Yeah, you got a point there. Golf does take place over a much wider area, and these are more constrained, smaller areas. I don't know. That might be a consideration. You do have a point. Robert Lengolis says darts or skee ball. Those would also be good options, but I kind of feel like darts in particular seems like it would, like, these are already very simple games, and darts seems like it'd be even more simple. Plus, when you have a controller as small as the Joy-Con, and you're holding it and moving it like a dart, I feel like it's going to be so easy to let loose of that controller, and then you have busted controllers. I don't know that they're going to do darts. It's a thought, but I'm skeptical. Let's see. Matt M says just like Wii Play. Yeah, but the thing is with Wii Play, I mean, there you're using the full the Wii remote, and those are big honking things. And I feel like you either have to really forget yourself or really be getting into things to let loose with one of those. And I feel like with something small like a Joy-Con with so many little fiddly buttons that you're trying not to accidentally press, it would be just far too easy to accidentally let loose of it. Like I said, I've never thrown a Wii remote in my life. And today, during this playtest, I threw one of the Joy-Cons. I've never had that happen to me. I've never thrown a controller before. I'm old, guys. I'm old. I'm over 40. And I've played a lot of games. I've played a lot of motion-controlled games. Never in my life have I thrown a controller until today. And thankfully, no one got hurt. Nothing got damaged. I don't think I'm going to go back to, like, I'm not going to be using the straps because I really should be able to control myself, but that was still like amazing. And I have enough Joy-Cons that I'm not worried about busting a Joy-Con. I have, oh geez, at least like a dozen or so at this point, I feel. But it was still, yeah, it was a crazy experience. Okay, Slinky Toast sounds like agrees with me that pool would be cool. Flow Dark Bright agrees. Yeah, let's have pool, guys. Or again, pure pool on Switch. Amazing experience. If you see it on sale and if you have even the least bit interest in pool, I cannot recommend pure pool enough. It shocked me. And I'm not big on pool. I like, pool, I could take it or leave it. I'm not a big pool guy, but the moment I got my hands on that one, I was like, wow, that's something special. Tyrese Kelly said Nintendo should have added a IR blaster port on the Switch with sensor bar for Joy-Cons. I feel like on the one hand, they could have gone with that as an optional thing. On the other hand, I feel like after the failure of the Wii U, Nintendo has been trying to distance themselves from the Wii era of gaming. That's why the Miis are buried deep down in the Switch. It's not, they're not front and center like they were on the Wii and the Wii U. It's why you have a lot of brands that they're not continuing that had the word Wii in the name. Like, this is not Wii Sports. This is Nintendo Switch Sports. You had the Ring Fit Adventure, not Wii Ring Fit or anything like that. I feel like it's very deliberate that they're stepping away from Wii after the absolute failure of the Wii U. How do I think that golf will be with the connection with the Joy-Con? So I'm really skeptical because I hated it in Mario Golf. I feel like even when they updated the motion controls in Mario Golf, it was still terrible. But motion control is clearly the focus here in this game. They're taking more time to work on it for the release. Presumably, that's what they're working on. I don't know. Maybe I think it was Flow Dark Bright said that it could have been the larger maps. That could be it as well. I don't know. So maybe that extra time will help them to get good motion controls for the Golf. That's one of those things where I'm going to have to wait until I can see it. But I was skeptical about the motion controls for everything else here, and I'm a lot less skeptical now. I feel like tennis and bowling were maybe a little rough at times, but like the Chambara, that I had no complaints about that. That was, chef's kiss. Mwah. Let's see. Lego Combat Robotics said, I noticed starting from the side in tennis makes the racket move on the side you're moving it on, not to. And sometimes Chambara has a hard time telling what you did when you move at a weird angle. I didn't have a problem with Chambara, but I did notice, like, when I was trying to do a backhand in tennis, it was not doing a backhand. It was just like, okay, you're going to swipe in this general direction that you're swiping in, but you're not making the backhand motion, which is a little disappointing. Okay. And every time I try to scroll down in chat, it scrolls all the way to the bottom and I need to scroll up again. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Mention of badminton. Robert Langolis says Mario Golf is great with the Joy-Con. I don't feel that way, but hey, if you're enjoying it, more power to you. I do not want to sour anyone else's experience. I can only speak to my own experience. Stinky Toast says dodgeball. Dodgeball would be cool. How would they do that if they wanted to do it with just motion controls using one controller, though? Because it seems like that's the ethos with these games, is they're aiming for a one controller motion control experience. And I feel like the only way that you do that with dodgeball is if you're using the entire controller like a joystick. Like Mario Galaxy had one of the moments where you're rolling a ball where it had a game that was kind of like that. But that just seems like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. I don't know. I feel like there must be a way you could make that work, and it sounds like it could be fun if they could find a way to make it work. I'm just not sure what that would be. Let's see. Robert wonders if they will have another Joy-Con update to help with, I assume, with Mario Golf. At this point, I doubt it. At this point, I feel like if they have any more updates to Mario Golf, it's probably going to be content, but I kind of feel like they might be done with it because I feel like their focus now is going to be on getting people looking at Mario Strikers. Excuse me. Epix Gaming posts the next play times. Thank you very much. I don't have that handy, so it's good that other people have that here. Lego Combat Robotics says, being a left-handed person, I had no issue with the connection. I don't see what being left-handed has to do with the connection, but... Oh, because you're using the different Joy-Con, the one that doesn't have the IR sensor. I don't feel like this game used the IR sensor at all. In fact, I feel like most games on the Switch don't make use of it. It's only used for like gimmicky stuff, like in Ring Fit Adventure, you put your thumb over it to measure your pulse, which is cool, but... What? And then you have it used in the Nintendo Labo games for some weird stuff too. But I feel like for most games, it's just kind of there's no reason for this to be here though. Matt M says, yo, imagine cornhole. I highly doubt that they would add cornhole to this. That is not just American niche. That's like niche within America too. Like, I know what cornhole is, but if you asked me 5 years ago, I probably wouldn't have been able to tell you what cornhole is. I've only recently, within the past 5 years or so, been like, oh, okay, yeah, I've seen that at like at fairs and stuff. They'll have like a booth where there'll be a cornhole game, but yeah. Hazel Sleet says, won't Nintendo shut me down if they see the gameplay? If they want to copyright strike my channel or something, they're welcome to. I've never been copyright striked, but I'm also a small-time channel. I'm not worried about it. And I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm not doing anything to breach copyright. I mean, I'm commenting on the game as I'm playing it. That's fair use. Now, granted, YouTube often doesn't care about fair use. They will just accept the strike and move on because they're dumb. But I'm not terribly worried about it. Let's see. Adrian Reed says the test was fun. I agree. This was more fun than I expected it to be. I honestly half expected to load up the game and either have so many problems getting online that I would never get into a good game, or I would get into a game and the motion controls would be so messed up that I just feel like I'm flailing around and having no control over the game, and neither of those were an issue. I had some minor issues with the motion control in at times in bowling and tennis, but for the most part they were good, and Chambara I was surprised at how well it worked. So yeah, I had a really good time. Let's see. Epix Gaming also accidentally threw the remote they were playing. Oh no! You hit the heater with your... Oh my word. I hope you're okay, Epix Gaming. Yeah, this is why they always put those warnings at the beginning of the game. Make sure that you have a free space to move around in. And I always scoff at those because I'm an adult. I know what I'm doing. I'm not going to have a problem. And then I went and I threw my controller for the first time in my life here. Okay. Let's see. Lego Combat Robotics asks, like a Switch Pro controller for motion controls. You know, I'm actually genuinely surprised at how good the motion controls are in the Switch Pro controller for a lot of games. Like, there are some games where you're not going to use the Pro controller for motion control. Like, you know, Skyward Sword over here. If you're using motion controls in that, you're using your Joy-Cons. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts. And same for Nintendo Switch Sports. I hesitate to think that Pro controllers motion controls are going to work at all with this. Geez, I should test that when the full game comes out. Anyway, but some games like the motion control in Super Mario 3D All Stars, Super Mario Galaxy, absolutely fantastic using a Pro controller. Like, just tilting my controller around, using that to aim at the screen, I would not have thought that would be as good as it is, but it's really good in that game. Splatoon is another one. Motion controls are great with a Pro controller. I cannot see myself playing that game any other way. There was another game, I want to say it was called Cyberhook, that came out last year, and it's a first-person platformer. Fantastic motion controls using the Pro controller. So yeah, the Pro controller, the motion controls are good if the game isn't specifically designed for the motion controls using the Joy-Cons. Flow Dark Bright says, I want to play a Switch game with motion controls with my family. It's impossible to play Switch games with my family because they only like Wii games. Maybe this will be the one to convince them. I could also recommend you could try a different tact and try one of the Jackbox compilations, because with those they're not even using a game controller, they're using their phone. And I feel like that's the holdup for a lot of more casual gamers, is they look at a game controller and it looks like some sort of foreign object to them. You know, all these weird buttons and there's stuff on the side here and there's this stuff at the top. And that's something that the Wii remote got around, because they're like, okay, let's make this look exactly like a TV remote. That way it won't intimidate people who aren't used to game controllers. And I feel like that's a part of why the Wii was such a success, was they went with exactly the right design to keep from intimidating people. Your pal Nathan says Nintendo on its way to smite you. Maybe. Like I said, I don't really care. They can smite me if they want. I'm not worried about it. Okay. Doyle says, racing would be cool without all the power-ups and stuff, unlike Mario Kart. I feel like if they want to keep with the sports theme, they could do like a canoe race kind of thing. Like, they had a game like that in Super Mario Party. And if they expanded upon that, actually made a bunch of different courses and stuff, I could totally see that being a game in something like Nintendo Switch Sports. In fact, I would love that. That would be a nice change of pace. Let's see. They got to use that IR camera on the Joy-Con somehow, Eddie MC18 says. They've used it in a few niche things, but the IR camera on the Joy-Con controller, for the overwhelming majority of Nintendo Switch games, it seems like a vestigial limb, where it's there doing nothing. I have to assume it's cheap, and that's part of the reason why Nintendo included it, because I will toss it in there and maybe some game later will use it. Or maybe it was if someday we want to add a Joy-Con bar, that way we have the option of using something like that. But that never happened. Yeah, it's just there. It's not really useful for much stuff. Lil Yayo says, why can't I play it? Well, you can't play it because the test is over. They're going to have another test tomorrow, and I believe another one on Sunday. Someone posted the schedule earlier in the chat, so look up in the chat and you can find that. Let's see. Lil Yayo says it keeps telling me it's over. Yep, it's over. At least for today. Check back tomorrow. Look up the schedule. It has scheduled times to play. Let's see. The Wii U gave them PTSD. I think the Wii U kind of gave everyone PTSD. I am someone who bought a Wii U, and I felt like I kind of had to because I'm a big Smash player. And of course, they released a Smash game on it, so I kind of grudgingly went, okay, I got to get this. And to its credit, Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U at that time was the best Mario Kart game ever. Now, granted, the battle mode sucked. And that's stuff that they all fixed in the Switch re-release of the game. And in retrospect, I kind of wish I just waited for the Switch because Super Smash Bros. Ultimate was like, okay, here's everything from Smash Bros. For Wii U with a ton more other stuff and way better in a bunch of ways. Mario Kart 8 on the Switch was like everything that was in the Wii U game, but better. Splatoon 2 was like, okay, we took the Wii U game and added more stuff. You know, it's like, there's very little that's left on the Wii U now that's still worth getting on the Wii U. Although there is stuff, you know, don't get me wrong, because there's like Xenoblade Chronicles X. There's a lot of little, you know, like the Virtual Console games, and that's frustrating. Don't get me into them closing the Wii U shop. But yeah, for the most part, they've done a good job moving almost everything worthwhile from the Wii U to the Switch. Lil Yayo says, bro, it really lasted only like 5 minutes. No, it was there for 45 minutes. It's just you had to be there on time. And then there were some connection problems at the start. But I was playing for at least a good, I want to say 30, 35 minutes or so. So, yeah. I mean, granted, even that, like a half an hour is not much. But that was something. Okay, let me... Again, it scrolled all the way down in the chat again. Oh, Lil Yayo says, started on time, it never let me in. I had connection problems at the start, but it did end up letting me in for a good amount of time. I'm sorry you weren't able to. Let's see. Yeah, Yoshi Gaming says it's a stress test to be large amounts of people at one time. That's really just it. You kind of knew that at least at first there was going to be connection problems because that's specifically what they were aiming for. They wanted to go for a worst case scenario so that when the full game launches, hopefully it's smooth sailing. Let's see. Bowling and tennis were very fun. I'm hoping we get badminton and volleyball tomorrow. I don't know. I get the feeling they're just going to do the same games, but I might be wrong. Maybe they'll do different ones. Lil Yayo, I'm sorry you weren't able to get in. Hopefully you'll have better luck tomorrow. I know that I was having problems at first, but I was able to eventually. I just kept trying. Hopefully if you keep at it, you'll be let in. I think maybe a part of it is also, I don't know what your internet connection is. Do you have a hardwired connection on your Switch? Because if you don't, that certainly helps. But I'm not sure if that's what the issue is here. I don't want to say, oh, do that and it'll fix your problem. Let's see. They said we only get to play the old ones. Yeah, maybe they want to keep stuff like soccer and badminton as a surprise. I don't know. Nintendo said for people not to share gameplay. Yeah, well, I don't do everything Nintendo tells me to do. They're not my daddy. They don't get to boss me around. I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm not breaching copyright. I'm not breaching a non-disclosure agreement. They can just be upset with me. They can be disappointed with me all they want. I don't care. Let's see. Neal02 says, odds Nintendo goes after a channel with 81 subs for showing gameplay. Well, I'm surprised I have 81 subs. Flow Dark Bright says, message redacted. Ooh, the big bad Nintendo folks are coming after us. Let's see. Finn Kilgariff says, wait, the Pro Controller has motion? Yeah, it absolutely does. In fact, third-party motion controllers, third-party Pro Controllers have motion control too. The X-Lean controller that I reviewed on Nintendo Switch, which is a very good low-cost substitute, has motion control. The 8BitDo SN30 Pro Plus has motion control, and Nintendo's own Pro Controller has motion control, and it's good. You can't use it for everything because there are some games that are specifically designed for the Joy-Cons, but for most games that use motion control, like all the first-person shooters that use motion control, you can totally do that with a Pro Controller, and it works great. Personally, I'm not big on using motion controls for first-person shooters because I tend to prefer the precision of just using the traditional controls over the speed of motion controls. But for something like Splatoon, oh, it's great. I can't imagine playing Splatoon without the motion controls on a Pro Controller. WWE and Thomas Fan 444 says, what's the next time? Scroll up in the chat. Someone else had posted it. I'm not going to be streaming, but I'm sure you'll be able to find others streaming, and hopefully you'll be able to play it yourself if you're subscribed to Nintendo Switch Online. Let's see. What else? Oh, Stinky Toast says, I'm going to head out. They probably already head out. Let's see. Your pal Nathan says Frisbee. That's a good one. Like disc golf. Except that has the same issue with bowling, which is you're going to be tempted to release the controller at totally the wrong time and send it just flying across the room. But assuming that they can put it into your head that you hold on to that controller tight, yeah, disc golf would be great. That's a great idea. Good one. Hikari says, imagine if Wii Sports Resorts comes back as well. You know, I could see them, if this does well enough, and it's already going to do super well, you know, but if it does, like, extremely well, I could see them following this up with a sequel, yeah. I'm not sure if they'd call it Nintendo Switch Sports Resort. That's kind of a mouthful, but they might find another way to they'll figure it out. Let's see. Your pal Nathan is taken off. Again, I'm saying this well after they've probably already done it. But in case you're still hanging around for recognition, thank you again for hanging around. Hikari says, is it free? The playtest is free. If you are already subscribed to Nintendo Switch Online, there's no additional cost. You just have to, like, there's a weird process to reserve an entry into the playtest. Look it up online. You can find out about that. However, the full release game will not be free. Unlike, you know, I know the original Wii Sports was free with the Wii. It came with the Wii. This one is going to cost, I want to say it's going to cost $40, which is less than I expected them to do. I expected them to do a full $60 for this, so good on them for not charging full price for this game. Doyle says, Wii U sucks and is exactly like the Wii. In a lot of ways, it is similar to the Wii. I think the Wii U, there were multiple problems with the Wii U. It played at being something that it wasn't. Like, it tried to make it seem like it was a handheld game system when it wasn't. Basically, it was trying to be the Nintendo Switch without actually going the full length and being a full portable system. That's problem number one. Problem number two was their marketing was terrible because everybody assumed that it was just an expansion or an add-on to the Wii. So terrible marketing, kind of only a half step as far as what they did with the hardware. And then they did a poor job supporting with games. There was no 3D Mario game on the Wii U. There was no Metroid game on the Wii U. There was only a Zelda game on the Wii U once the Wii U was pretty much already dead. You know, all of Nintendo's major franchises skipped it. There was an Animal Crossing game on the Wii U, but it was a terrible Animal Crossing game that was just like, like a board game kind of thing? Ugh. There was no F-Zero on the Wii U. There was no Punch-Out on the Wii U. You know, it's like all of Nintendo's major franchises skipped it. You still had a few really great games, like Mario Kart on the Wii U was fantastic. Smash on the Wii U, fantastic. Donkey Kong Country on the Wii U, incredibly good. But all of the big games that everyone would have been watching for skipped the Wii U. And it's like, who at Nintendo was asleep at the wheel for this? Let's see. Glossboy says Nintendo is going to remove this stream. You know, they're going to do what they're going to do. I don't care. As long as you guys enjoyed it, that's what I care about. Omega Zach Powers says, I hope for Nintendo Land on Switch. I can tell you, I strongly believe that will never happen because Nintendo Land was built around the Wii U hardware. I cannot see that game working on any other platform but the Wii U. I feel like Nintendo Land is going to be on the Wii U and only the Wii U forever. Now watch Nintendo prove me wrong by doing something crazy, because Nintendo always does something crazy, but I don't think that's going to happen. Let's see. Test was fun. Actually gave me the vibe of Wii Sports. Oh, Rixanace is saying this, sorry. Going to pre-order now. You know, I'm not the sort of person to pre-order games. I almost never pre-order. But if I was so inclined to do so, like I said, I got a good vibe off of this. I feel like it's hitting the right notes. There are still a few areas I'm uncertain about, but from what I was able to play test here, I'm quite pleased with how this turned out. Man, so many people insistent that Nintendo is going to take this down. Do they really take down streams? Because I'm not sure that I've seen that. Like the Pokemon company, I know Pokemon doesn't like you streaming or doing anything. Although that's funny because I've streamed Arceus twice and they haven't done a thing to me. So maybe I'm just too small. Maybe nobody at Nintendo knows I exist. I mean, it's entirely possible. I do not have many people here. Finn Kilgraph says, how to use a motion control with a big bulky controller. You're not waving it around like a crazy person. You're using it for small subtle movements like pointer controls and stuff. You can actually tilt the controller up to point up or down or whatever. And especially in something like Splatoon, where that subtle kind of movement, or in a first-person shooter, that can make all the difference, and it really helps. And especially in a game where you're using that just to supplement movement that's already in the game, like using the right analog stick. It can add for that little extra hint of, okay, I just want to move it up a little bit more. The motion control on a Pro controller is fantastic for that. Let's see here. Thoughts on the possibility of boxing, because it seems like golf is on an island. I don't know. It sounds like there are a lot of people who are interested in boxing, so they might make it happen. I never say no when Nintendo's involved. I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of boxing myself, so I could take it or leave it if they decide to add it, but possible, I guess. Oh, I just now realized all my tags for this stream are wrong. Oops. Maybe that's why Nintendo doesn't see it, because I still have it tagged with last week's stream stuff. So Nintendo doesn't know to look for Nintendo Switch Sports on the stream that's tagged Fuse 4, RPG Maker MV, and Smile Basic 4. Yep. Drunk Cod says it's $40 USD. Yeah, that's what I thought. Nintendo never promoted Wii U as a handheld. Revolution 5268 says they never promoted it as such, but when people saw that tablet, they automatically made the connection. Oh, Nintendo's making a handheld here. I mean, Nintendo might have tried to argue against that and say, oh, no, you have to keep this close to your console. But people saw that and they immediately wanted something that the Wii U was not. And I think that hurt them because people immediately got excited and then immediately got disappointed. And Nintendo reversed that with the Nintendo Switch. They actually followed through on what people hoped that the Wii U was going to be. But I feel like that disappointment was pretty universal in the Wii U. Like, people saw that big screen and the fact that you could bring it away from the actual console, and they thought, oh, good, this means I can use it like a handheld. But no, that wasn't how it worked at all. Roman Torchik says, I had an issue with tennis. It didn't register my swings except for serving. Yeah, I didn't have that problem. I mean, it didn't exactly measure what it was that I was doing, but like, I tried to backhand it. It didn't look like it was doing a backhand, but it still registered my movements. Simply Brian says, I'm surprised this game had low frame rates in some areas, not a solid 60 frames per second. I was really focused on the gameplay here, so if there were dips in the frame rates, I did not notice it. It seemed pretty smooth to me, so that might have just been because of the stream. I don't know. Let's see. Vinny Frog says you can play like all those games on the Wii that is on the Wii U. I mean, okay, if you're talking about all the games in Nintendo Switch Sports, I'm sure they were only showing off the games we already were familiar with because they wanted to hold back on the new content so that there was still some surprise for players who picked this up. If you're talking about playing Wii games on the Wii U, yes, that was a great feature, and that's one of the reasons why I jumped on getting a Wii U. But I feel like for a lot of people, they were looking at the lack of new content and were like, there's no new Mario game aside from this new Super Mario Brothers U, which is like, hey, that's fun and all, but I wanted something like Mario Galaxy, or I want a new Zelda game, or like all the big franchises, they skipped the Wii U. Aside from, like, again, there was a good Donkey Kong game, there's a good Mario Kart, there's a good Kirby, there was a good Yoshi game, but when you have Mario, Zelda, Metroid pretty much all skipping the Wii U. Again, there was a 2D Mario game, but putting that aside, like, yeah, disappointing. Let's see here. Revolution 5268 says around the Wii U era, the 3DS was suffering badly to the point where they had to shift all focus on the 3DS abandoning Wii U. I don't think that's exactly what happened. I do know that when they first launched the 3DS, they were kind of struggling with that, but I'm not sure that they moved people off of the Wii U to work on the 3DS. I don't know. I wasn't inside the room at Nintendo when they made their decisions, but I feel like the 3DS... Yeah, I don't know. I can't say for sure, but I don't think that's what happened. Two Stupid Idiots writes a lot. Loved Wii Switch Sports. Was told we couldn't stream it. They're banning channels. Yeah, okay. I'm too small to care about, I'm sure. Two Stupid Idiots says 10 out of 10. Like I said, I'm holding back on giving it any kind of rating just yet, but so far I'm pretty positive on this. Two Stupid Idiots says I play real tennis and the movement was perfect. I don't think it was perfect, but I think it was good enough. It was good. Let's see. I mean, yeah, people keep talking about me getting in trouble with Nintendo, and I don't care. Google Gamer says hi. Hi, Google Gamer. Two Stupid Idiots says baseball. We'll see. Maybe. Pavel Gutierrez, and I apologize if I mispronounced that, says, can you play it right now or do we have to wait a bit? The current playtest is done, so you cannot play it right now. There will be more playtests over the weekend, and the full game is going to be released in April, I believe. Firefox had a message redacted. Interesting. Kind of odd that people forget the 3DS exists. I don't. I love my 3DS. Got some good gaming experience on the 3DS. What's up with the times we can play this? Someone posted a list of the times earlier in the chat. So look through the chat if you want to see the times of the playtests this weekend. Your video will be removed when this video on demand is uploaded. Maybe. Like, I played Pokemon a couple times the last couple of weeks and haven't had problems, so I'm not terribly concerned about it. I mean, Nintendo said the same thing when they had one of like their E3 streams or something, and then didn't do anything about it because, of course, everyone was going to stream it. That's dumb. Let's see. Omega Zach Power says, I hope Tomodachi Life in Switch. Maybe. I don't know how successful it was, but I wouldn't put it past them. I mean, it could be that the team that did, what was the name of that weird simple RPG with the Miis that they ported to the Switch? The team that did that, they're the same team, if memory serves, that also ported over Link's Awakening. I wouldn't put it past them to also bring over Tomodachi Life. I don't know. It's not something I'm super interested in, but I'm sure that some people would play it. Did I enter the code in the eShop? Yeah, that's how I got the playtest here. There's a code you enter into the eShop. It says the code was already used. First redeemed it. Oh, yeah, I redeemed it on the eShop on my computer, but that was on my account that is connected to my Nintendo Switch. So I would say check and make sure that your account is connected to, the account that you put the code into is connected to your account on the Switch. Zerg Diamond says, is it coming back up tonight? No, it is not, but they will have more playtests this weekend. C1 Arky says, I loved it, just played. Yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it. Let's see. I just got here. Play a game, please. I'm trying to answer questions in the chat, so it's hard to multitask when I have so many people asking questions, and I'm sure there are a lot of people curious about this game. So I'm sorry if it's boring to stare at the screen here while I'm talking, but I was playing for a good 35, 40 minutes or so. Let's see. Simply Brian says they should add Woohoo Island back as DLC. Oh, that'd be cool. Oh, they could totally make a whole paid DLC like the Woohoo Island expansion. And I could see everyone snatching that up. Like, add that to the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pass thing as well. Yeah, everybody would be cool with that, I'm sure. Popeye says, wait, you can play Switch Sports right now. Not right now at this moment. They're doing online playtests throughout the weekend. Today's playtest is over, but there will be more throughout the weekend. I will not be streaming those, however, just streaming tonight. Faceless says, just logged on to YouTube to say how much they appreciate me constantly updating the release schedule of all the Switch games on Nintendo Switch Reddit. Oh, thank you. I'm glad that people appreciate that. And it has gotten a lot harder this last week because Nintendo changed their website and now all of the links are broken. It's really frustrating. I hope that they fix it because right now they just made a mess of everything. But I'm going to keep trying. Vinny's Voice says, I'm thinking about getting the game when it comes out. I think if you enjoyed the original Wii Sports, judging by what I played here, you'll probably be pleased with this game when it comes out. I'm looking forward to it too. And I actually wasn't super looking forward to it before, but now that I've played it a bit, I'm feeling a good deal more confident about it. Chargers Girl 366 says they need Pokemon Racing. Not in this game. They're not going to do that. They, for whatever reason, they don't like mixing their licenses together all the time. They just do it on occasion, like with Smash Brothers or Mario Kart. Miitopia, yes, Miitopia was the name of the RPG with Miis. So I feel like if they were going to bring Tomodachi Life to the Switch, that's the developer they'd get to do that. Is the developer who brought over Miitopia and Link's Awakening. They were the ones who did both of those. Or I suppose they could get the developer who did Mario Party and Clubhouse Games. Either of those would probably work fine for bringing that game over if they wanted to do that. Let's see. Leonardo Benito says this will probably be taken down. If they do it, they do it. But as long as you guys are enjoying this now, that's all that matters to me. It's not like I'm trying to make money with this channel. It's not like I am looking to get subs or something. This is kind of to supplement my own eShopperReviews subreddit and give people kind of a different kind of, I guess, flavor. So if this gets pulled after the fact, fine. But I mean, my Pokemon videos are still up, so I'm not too worried about it. A Jet Octo, I want to say thank you for helping out Alley Cat Soul. It sounds like they've found what they were looking for, and I appreciate you being helpful in the chat. So I wanted to give you a shout out and say thank you. Darvin, I don't recall off time the next time for the trial. Oh, 3 a.m. Pacific. Ugh. Oh, that's nasty. Yeah, but there have been people posting it, and I'm sure if you're not certain about it, you can always Google it. But yeah, there are going to be multiple times available this weekend. And be aware, when I first started this, I had trouble getting in. It kept booting me out. It kept saying there were connection problems. Just keep trying at it. Keep trying at it and trying at it and trying at it until it lets you in. Because once it started letting me in, I didn't really have a problem with it. So just be persistent and hopefully it will let you in eventually. Okay. And hey, it looks like I am caught up in the chat, I think. Okay. So, geez, technically I said I was only going to be doing this stream until 8 p.m. because I knew that the game was only going to be running until 7:45, but I still have people in here chatting and I kind of don't want to kill the conversation just yet. I'll leave it going at least until 9 p.m. Pacific. So if anyone else has any questions or wants my opinion on anything or wants to ask about the controls or my experience, please feel free to chime in. Nico Flowers says play something else. You know what? Because you're asking nicely, I was talking about Pure Pool before. So I'll go ahead and play Pure Pool. Because that is an amazing pool game. And I was talking about if they were going to add another sports game to Nintendo Switch Sports, pool would be cool, but they kind of already have an excellent pool game on Nintendo Switch. So hold on a second. This is what I have to put up with when I want to say I have something like over 2,600 games at this point. It's kind of ridiculous. Add folders, Nintendo. Add them. Fast serve for tennis? No, I just tossed up the remote and then brought it back down. Oh, I need to download Pure Pool. Oh. See, this is what happens is I play through a game and then I archive it. Okay, what's something that I can play that's kind of fitting the theme? Oh, maybe the bowling game that I was talking about? I think it's like Knock 'em Down Bowling. Yeah. Oh, good. And I don't need to download this. Okay. This is the kind of sort of like Wii Sports bowling game that I was talking about. And it's really good. Obviously, it's not, Wii Sports or Nintendo Switch Sports. But up until this game was announced, it was pretty good.
Let's bowl.
Cheesy. Agent Octo says Pikmin 3. I do not know if I have that game archived, though. So it might be that I'd have to download it, and I shouldn't. Just play one player here. So this is another game called Knock 'em Down Bowling. It obviously looks a great deal cheaper. Yeah, this is not a Nintendo Switch Sports. This is a completely different game. So please, this is called Knock 'em Down Bowling. And I wanted to show this because I thought this was another good one. So right now I'm using gamepad controls, but now I'm using motion controls. Oh. having problems with this. Maybe I need to press a button. Yeah, that's what I needed to do. I kept forgetting there's a button I needed to press. No, I make $0 off of these streams. I get nothing for these streams. This stream is purely for you. Okay, let's try it like this. Oh, come on! Now I'm hooking slightly to the right. Oh, jeez. So obviously the graphics nowhere near as good as Nintendo Switch Sports, but the controls are actually pretty good. Well, okay, I say the controls are pretty good, and then I'm terrible at it. But that's probably just because I'm terrible. It's not because the game is bad. Okay, I keep hooking to the right. Maybe I should just play on the left side. So Emmett YT asks how you got Nintendo Switch Sports. There's a online playtest for Nintendo Switch Online members, but it is currently over. They will be having more throughout the weekend. If you look online for Nintendo Switch Sports playtest, you can find details on how to sign up for that if you are a Nintendo Switch Online player. Oh, someone's saying Splatoon. You know what? I do have Splatoon on here, so I could play that, and then you'll just see how terrible I am at Splatoon. Oh. There we go. Okay, sounds like people are not so interested in this game, so I'll go ahead and... You know what? Splatoon is one I can play. And I don't want to confuse people and make them think that I'm playing Nintendo Switch Sports when I'm not. Okay, I'm playing Splatoon 3. Give me a minute. Although, actually, before I do that, I gotta... Oop, no. I gotta play with... Oh, I see what my problem is. I gotta switch the controller here because I'm so used to Pro Controls. And by the way, just so you know, when I play Splatoon, I play Paint Roller. Emmett YT says today is their birthday. Happy birthday, Emmett! Yeah, I'm sorry, Omega Zack Power. I have a busy schedule. I stream on Fridays, but yeah, truth be told, I'm going to be with my girlfriend tomorrow. And as much as I love video games, I love my girlfriend too, so she deserves my time. So many games. People are like, play another Nintendo game. Let's really try to get Nintendo to ban you or whatever. Oh, I must have skipped past it. Where? Ah. Update. I have to imagine it's just like something minor like the last Splatfest or I don't know. I actually did not participate in the Splatfest. Not really. Have I thought of Twitch streaming? I don't know. I've never really used Twitch. I've mostly just used YouTube. I don't know. Is there really much of a difference between streaming on one platform as opposed to another? Chaos versus order. Not ketchup versus... What was it? Ketchup versus mayo? Like... That actually makes me wonder, ketchup versus mayo, which one would I pick? It's like, if I were to just, like, dip a random thing into it to eat, definitely ketchup. But if I'm thinking of, like, general usefulness, mayo is so much more useful. It's more malleable. It has a much milder flavor. Oh, people can donate to easier. I guess. I don't know. I haven't really been looking at this as a revenue stream. I suppose that's something I could consider, though. Maybe. Luigi on the computer says bye. I didn't see if you said anything earlier, so sorry if I missed you, Luigi on the computer, but thanks for stopping by. Oh yeah, Splatoon 3 looks great. I was really surprised to see it announced, though, because I was like, I feel like one Splatoon for platform seems like plenty. Not that I'm upset about it or anything. Always happy to see more good games. Although it's funny, there are some franchises that still haven't hit the Switch, and yet we're getting another Splatoon. It a bot. Eh. Oh, jeez. Okay, okay. How do I ban this? Because, yeah, you're right. That's a bot I do not want. Block. Hopefully block works. Tell me if there's something I need to do other than blocking. Because, yeah, I do not want that person to spam up my chat. Okay. So, let's get into an actual match here. Oh, it has been so long since I played Splatoon. Oh, yeah, and by the way, playing with a Pro Controller, and this is all motion controls right now. So, those of you asking about motion controls, this is it right here. Motion controls on a Pro Controller. Splat 3 will probably have better online since NSO is a paid thing now. NSO was a paid thing for years, and we still had terrible online experiences like Mario Maker 2. So I don't think that's the difference. It might have better online just because they have been making it a point to focus online, but just because it's paid does not mean the experience is automatically better. Smite it as Nintendo shall soon smite you. Maybe. We'll see. Oh, it's been so long since I played this game. I'm going to suck so hard. Okay, one more person wants to be blocked. I assume blocking is how I ban someone from the channel. Nope, apparently not. Okay. How... Yeah. If there's another way to ban these people, like, I don't know how to go about doing that. Oh, game's starting now. Oh. Oh, it's been so long since I played this last. Ah, I'm so out of practice. Omega Zach Power, I appreciate the offer, but I'm really hesitant to make someone a mod of my channel when I don't know them personally. I don't take this as anything against you. I just, yeah, I'd prefer not to. Sorry. After I'm done with this stream, I'll look into it, though, because this is obviously something that's going to come up again, so... Oh, the hell you say? Okay, starting to get more into it again. Oh! 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 Yeah! Ha ha! Ah. Thanks, Omega Zach Power. I do appreciate it. Ah. I'm so out of practice. Where are they? There they are. Oh! Ah! I just keep getting my butt kicked. I do not tend... Okay. I enjoy some horror games, like I love the Silent Hill games, but as a general rule, I'm not big on horror. So I've not really gotten into the Five Nights games. Ah! I keep getting the super or whatever it's called at the last minute and then neglecting to use it. Ah! Chargers Girl 366, what's the idea of Splatoon game? Never played one. So it is a third-person shooter, and the goal is not to kill the most enemies or whatever. The goal is you are trying to cover the most of the area with your color of ink as possible. There are different game types, like some you're trying to do like a King of the Hill type of thing, but for the most part, you're trying to cover the arena in your color, and enemies are taken out with your color. Your color also helps you to get around because you can turn into a squid and swim through it. It's a really unique take on a third-person shooter. And apparently it's super popular in Japan. Like, it is one of Nintendo's big franchises in Japan. It's not small here, but apparently it's even bigger there. And they actually even have concerts where they have like a little virtual reality thing and they'll have their characters perform in Splatoon concerts in Japan. If you can look up videos for it, it's really cool. And the music in these games is really unique too. Like, it sounds like nothing else out there. Oh, I like this map. Of course, I like most of the maps in Splatoon 2, although I prefer the Splatoon 1 soundtrack. I'm starting to get the hang of it. I have people messaging me on Discord. Oh! Hold on. Oh. Oh! For those who follow the subreddit, Jen is here, so she's like, oh, let me know when you're done streaming. I'm in the back room. If I get the chance, I'll totally invite her in so she can say hi. Oh, 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 oh! Oh. I am so out of practice, I'm just getting my butt kicked. Will I be doing a face reveal? Probably not. I mean, I'm only streaming because I wanted to test out this new streaming device. And then I kind of got sucked into it. I actually don't believe I have a webcam right now. Oh! Yeah, I saw him behind me, and I was hoping I could get behind that and then turn around quickly to go back in on him. And I have not been killing many of the other team. Ah! Damn sure I got some hits in on him, too. I mean, yeah, usually what I do to kill with the paint roller, unless they're close, is I'll jump and flick it. Like that. But I'm out of practice, so my aim is off. Like, I cannot remember the last time I played this game. Where the heck did they go? Oh, oh! I'm just getting... I can't get away with anything here, man. I think after this game, I'm going to probably have to end the stream, though, because I do have Jen waiting for me. Where the heck are they coming from? I knew that the moment he drew a bead on me, I was gone. Yeah, I lost that one bad. ZR then B after to do a more reliable jump flick? I hadn't tried that. I'll have to give it a try. I always thought that was how you get a wide flick rather than a long flick. All right. Well, I think that is probably going to have to do it for me tonight. I mean, I really was not planning to go into games other than Nintendo Switch Sports tonight. Friend codes. Okay, friend codes is another thing that I really prefer to only add as a friend people who I already know. Again, nothing against you personally, and I really appreciate how kind you've been here, but I have my own weird little preferences, and that's kind of one of them. Hey, good night to you too, Omega Zach Power. Thank you again for showing up. Thank you for all the good stuff you're adding into the chat, all the good information and everything. And to everyone else who showed up here, everyone who's still here, everyone who's already left. Yeah, I know you can only have 100 friends. That's really frustrating. Anyway, to everyone in the chat, everyone who joined us, everyone who maybe is watching this video after the fact, thank you again for showing. And I'm going to get going. If you want to know about when the next test is going to start, I'm sure you can Google it. It's all over. There are instructions for how to apply for a code, which you have to put onto your account to download the Nintendo Switch Sports online playtest app. And there are specific times when you can do it. I believe it's only running through this weekend, although they might do another one before the game is launched in April. Anyway, thank you all for joining me. I'm going to call it a night. You all have an excellent night, and I hope that those of you who were not able to get in to play the game tonight will still be able to find a way to get onto the game sometime this weekend. I thought it was a bunch of fun, and I look forward to actually playing the full game when it releases. All right, y'all, have a good night.